All right. Welcome, everybody. How is everybody this whatever day? It's a Wednesday. Why did I say whatever day? We've got... What do we have first? No, we did... That was the last one, machine learning. We have another intern. I hope everybody got a good night's sleep so that I can feel jealous of you all. And starting next week, my normal schedule will be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, all at 11 PST. So, just because the Tuesday thing isn't working for me, but we're going to keep the Wednesdays and the Mondays the same. So, what is this person? Oh man, I really don't know about career fairs, unfortunately, but nope. There we go. Let me get my stuff situated, and away we go in a second. Away we go in a second. That is the words that I should have said. And just making sure my sound is good, because I will always and forever be paranoid about my sound not being correct. All right. This is a resume review of a software engineering intern. Their ratio is 75-1, which for software engineer interns in particular is not good, but it's not bad. I want to be very clear. It is very tough to get internships. It's very competitive, and a 1 to 75 is like a C-. You pass barely, but you know, even with a phenomenal resume, it's rare that you're going to get a 1 to 20, 1 in 10 ratio for a software engineer intern. So this person said they are preparing for a career fair and they're looking for advice on what to admit and expand upon, as well as general advice. Got it. So the first thing I can let you know is I don't know a lot about career fairs. Every single time I was scheduled to do one, layoffs happened at my company, or alternatively, the career fair was canceled. So the only thing I can tell you about what to do at a career fair is that if I am a recruiter in your company and there is a career fair, prepare your resume, because apparently that's bad luck for me. I have no idea why, but what we're going to be looking for is basic knowledge of tech stack, so language, library, the other thing I'm forgetting about off the top of my head, SQL, cloud, that kind of stuff. Not a ton, just a little bit. Framework, that was it. So those are just the things we're going to be looking for, along with the ability to work with others and take direction and criticism. So let's begin. So first off, your formatting is not ideal. Not the worst. Again, there are levels of bad in resume, and formatting is about 40% of your overall grade. So you can still pass if you have a bad formatting, as long as it's not abysmal formatting. This should be one line. I think you can fit it there. Again, there doesn't need to be all these lines, and there's way too much bolding. I don't know why everybody keeps bolding everything. It makes it harder to read. So portfolio, that's fine. My portfolio website created using React and Next.js, allowing for a smooth UI design. I mean, I don't know if I need a smooth UI, but I'd like a little bit more. Like if you used JavaScript, yes, I know JS stands for JavaScript, but JS doesn't always mean the JavaScript that we think. It's weird. And then TypeScript, great components, and hosted the site in Microsoft Azure. That's actually pretty solid. Created a .NET C# application to help structure and organize tests throughout the day. Utilize this is the second time I've ever seen MVVM, responsive UI, and SQL in Azure. Again, this is not bad. Actually, this is relatively solid. This stuff is kind of hurting you, and the bolding is making it hard. But overall, this is not a bad resume. Let's see. This doesn't really have anything I need in it. Yeah, nothing here I have in it. Oh, you know what? No, here. Worked in a team of 5. Again, I need... Okay, so here's kind of my issue. These are actually formatted okay, and these have the correct keywords. So I'd like a teeny bit more, but overall still very solid. The problem I am having, though, specifically, is that you're not telling me enough, because this is a perfect, right here, this is a perfect sentence to expand upon. You need to tell me more. I know these are projects and you may be like, well, they're not huge, big things, but that's okay. They don't need to be. This is a perfect opportunity to put how you work together, because utilizing Trello to communicate and organize. Okay, did you do, what happens when you were wrong? Did you hash it out? In fact, there are no keywords I need here, but you could kind of switch this entire thing about how you worked as a team to code this thing. So, which is impressive, especially because you got 2K unique players on Roblox, which I think I know enough about video games to know that actually is kind of impressive. So I need a little bit more here, and I think you can just move this into how you took criticism, how you worked with your teammates. I want more stuff. This stuff is okay again, but yeah, so fix the formatting, add how you work together, add a little bit more of the code stuff here. I think you may be getting, that will give you like a 1 in 50, 1 in 40, 1 in 45. So again, not bad. I don't think this is like a terrible resume or anything. It's just, it's highly competitive. So like if being a software engineer intern was as competitive as being an accountant, this would be getting like a 1 in 15 ratio. So, but it's not, unfortunately. It's very competitive. So let's go to the next resume. And before we do, please like, comment, and subscribe. Yes, I know that's a thing I have to say, but it really, really, really does help me out, even if the comment is just like. And if you need more help, check out my Twitch below. I am going to be live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 11 a.m. PST. And yeah, I hope to see you there. Let's go to the next resume. What submission date are we on? Oh, wow, chat blew up while I was on that. We are on the 11th of February. So, good. Hey, Fruitilla, hope you're doing well. The advice you gave on Monday about Simflight answer phone screen was so helpful. Good. If you don't mind answering, when people submit their resumes on your site, do you tell them when you will review them on Twitch? I don't have a good system for it. On average, it's about a week and a half. But if you're in chat long enough, you can use your channel point reward to skip the line, which I have a couple of those per week to give to people. But it's usually about a week and a half. It's just, I'm behind because I was on vacation and I got sick. I was curious as how well you value content versus delivery as a recruiter. I'm suspecting that another part of the reason I haven't gotten past the phone screen could be delivery. Kind of the delivery, because the don't think there's rather a queue. Yeah, it is also a queue, because sometimes I get like 1,000 resumes, sometimes I get like 3. So, but so I want you to think of the phone screen is usually more of a knockout phase. Now, not every company does this, and I've actually fixed some companies on it. So, but the purpose of the phone screen with the recruiter is just another set of knockout questions. Now, one of those knockout questions can very much be attitude. So you can be hurried, that's okay, but don't ever be a jerk. If you ever act like a jerk on the phone screen, the recruiter will tell that to the hiring manager. So there is a technique that you can do, and I have used this before. This is what I taught people on the helpline. This is what I taught candidates as well. Is if this is a phone like a phone screen or a phone interview, doesn't matter, as long as it's not a video, right? Not face to face. Smile while you talk, and if you smile while you talk, even on the phone, it kind of adds a little bit of pep to your voice, because you can see I'm smiling now and I look absolutely psychotic, which is why you do not do this on a video call. But on a phone call, if you do this, this is the sound of my voice. And then I don't smile, and this is the sound of my voice. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with this, but smiling does in fact add a little bit of pep to your voice. So just smile while you're giving the phone screen, just in case, and it can be very helpful. Again, do not do that in the video call, because you will look insane, which is why you just saw what it looked like me doing that. Also, I am, like I said, I am switching my stream schedule to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I'm doing that next week, so I am not going to be here this Friday, but after that, that's going to be my regular schedule going forward. So I am not streaming this Friday, but I will start next Friday. Maybe if I have time, I'll do a little teeny one, but we'll see, just to catch up. But, let's see. But yeah, this isn't a bad resume. Nothing worse than awkward smile through the screen. Yeah. It's because, like, this does help. But, like, if you're in a video call and you do this, you're scary. Don't do this in a video call. Do this in a phone call. So, and most of the time, like, really, it's, you have to be kind of, just remember the person you're talking to is not a technical master of that, resume. And I want to say that this is how you do these correctly, but the fact is not a lot of companies do phone screens correctly. I know, because I've had to fix them. So, but just know that the person has a line out the door and act like they're in the DMV. You don't have to be the best and woo them, but, make sure you give them the correct information, give it to them efficiently. Be wary of their time because they probably have another 20 lined up, and make sure that what you can say can be easily parsed. Just pretend for the phone screen with the recruiter or HR, pretend you're at the DMV and treat it like that. So that's kind of the best way to think it. For the actual interview with the manager, that's a different thing. So is it bad to finish the screen quick? No, not really. It's honestly, sometimes it's not even bad to finish the interview quick. But I found that the time on the phone screen does not necessarily translate into success on the getting ahead. Typically, the longer time on the phone screen is typically due to a incomplete process on the company side, more so than the candidate side. But I have seen people like ace interviews in like 12 minutes, while others took like an hour and a half and didn't make it. So interview time is not really related to getting the job. The exception to that is if it's like 5 minutes on the actual interview with the manager, probably not a good sign, but that's kind of it. Okay. And then I am going to have to keep checking my email. There is an email I really need to make sure it goes through. It has not happened yet. Curses. All right. So what is this? I don't actually know off the top of my head. I think I have to look at this one. A mobile full stack. What? Why did they they added that question mark? I want to be clear. I don't know why they added that question mark. I guess let's see if that actually pulls up anything. I mean, I get the full stack, but with I don't know why this keeps showing entry level. Reset all filters. Senior lead architect. Mobile full stack developer? They didn't give me a clue. I don't actually know. Why is a fitness professional showing up? Engineering manager? Okay, I'm not going to be able to look for this. Hey, hydrobromine. Nice. Just wondering when recruiters typically contact references. Hey, good morning, Harry. Recruiters contact references when the hiring manager wants them to. Sometimes they want you to do it before the final interview, in which case there's usually some pushback due to the volume, but typically in most but not all companies, references is after the final interview before they make a decision. It's sort of a last minute check to make sure somebody isn't like lying to get through the thing. Oh no, I have ants. Gross. All right, well, that's not great. I'm gonna have to fix that after the stream. But yeah, welcome to the chat. So, all right, I don't know how to actually review this one based on what they said. So, and they didn't give me anything. This is a resume review of a senior mobile full stack architect. I don't actually know. They put in that quotation. They put in the question mark, by the way. That is exactly how they wrote it. They did not give me anything else about this resume, nor even their ratio. And I couldn't really find mobile full stack architect. I mean, I could probably find mobile full stack or mobile architect, but I haven't really seen the combo, and it kept getting a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna maybe base this entirely on formatting because I don't know enough about any of those and I couldn't find it. So yeah, let's go. Good, you used my formatting. Perfect. I love it already. This should be one line though. That should be one line. That's not a huge deal, but that should be one line. Okay, again, there should be a space between these, just a very small space just in case, but also this should be italicized. But use Swift and Objective-C to create dozens of iOS mobile applications. That is good. I do know Swift and iOS is for iOS kind of thing. UlKit, Swift UI, front-end, ArcKit, Reality Vision across developers. Created back-end architecture for multiple projects. Yeah, it does actually seem like you did both. Firebase services. I mean, these would be the keywords for both of those. My issue is I feel like these are very specific. So we may make this a quick review, but if you come on the channel and say, hey, I was this X person, I will re-review it because I need to, this is a kind of thing where I need to know the exact job title you're going for, and I didn't really find it based on this. It does look like you have a couple. The only thing I would sort of say besides a couple of minor formatting issues, and like I said, I will redo this if you stop by the chat and say like, hey, this is the stuff I want. We can help you find the positions. Is you may want to combine this sentence and this one to make the summary. Because I get you're a senior mobile, but I want to know a little bit more about it. And I don't know if these keywords are correct or not, but it seems sort of correct. See, do I even have iOS? I mean, I should... iOS, no, I just don't have it saved. So yeah, come back. Formatting, like I said, it's mine, so I love it, but this should be one line. This should be italicized in a space below employment. This should be italicized. This should be italicized. Other than that, it is okay. With the timeline here is also an issue. So I get what you did here, and you've been doing this as a self-employment thing. You may just want to move this to May 2017 or June 2017, just so it's a clearer timeline based on what you did. Because if it's an off timeline, it looks a little off to, well, companies. So, and then you have projects down here, which is okay. Again, there's a large amount of people like, oh, your resume needs to be XY, your resume needs to be this long. The truth is as long as your resume, as long as we find what we need in the first half, you're good. You can have a longer resume, so that's okay. So yeah, would this move forward? I don't know. I couldn't find the keywords for this, and I will give you a free skip the line pass if you come on the channel and let me know. So let's go to the next resume. All right. Whoa, boy. Chat. I need advice on interviews. I always get nervous when they ask, tell me about yourself, and I recently had an interview which just reached on my resume. How should I answer this question? How much detail should I go into? Help. Okay. So. Usually about 3 sentences. The tell me about yourself is obviously about your history, right? But it's also is about you. Remember, the person that is interviewing you is going to be working with you 40 hours a week. They want to know who you are a little bit. So it's not just about your skills. And as an example, I would say, so a little bit about myself is I've been a recruiter for 5+ years. I've done internal, external, high volume and high difficulty ones. And basically, if there is a rec that goes unfilled, they send it to me to fill it. And in my off time, I like playing board games. I like listening to musicals, and I play maybe too many video games, but those are the things that I like. So that's it. That's all it can be. Maybe don't say play too many video games, but you know. What do you think about putting U.S. citizen on a resume? I think you should. If you are a green card holder and U.S. citizen, I think you should, because that way they cannot bias against you. Because if they look up and they see a foreign name, they may say, but if you just show U.S. citizen, it gives you a bonus. So, which I don't do that, I want to be clear, but, you know, also I have had people put U.S. citizen that misclicked that part of the question. So if you accidentally click the wrong part, they open your resume and it says not a U.S. citizen, but it says it on the resume, they'll know it's a misclick. So past, present, future template works for that question. Resume repeat is fine in the past portion. Train and have resumes pulled up anyway. Yes. So yeah, I hope that answered those questions. And yes, that is true. Not all interviewers are trained. But yeah, basically just a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, that kind of thing. Because they still may be working with you. There's so many ants over in that section. I'm going to have to get the ant trap after this. All right. Hey, Headless. I meant to say, hey, less than. Like, how do I... Your name is so bad for my dyslexia. Less than... I know it's least, and I can't say it. Less than he's... I'm done. I can't. Lethal. I know that. Okay, I'm going to go turn in my gamer cred. I'm sorry, y'all. Lethal. Less. Thank you. Hey, how are you doing? Failed that one at every opportunity. I think I've told this before, but so one of my most embarrassing things as a recruiter I did was meeting the team for the first time. Is they had they flew all of us out here once a year when I was at Epitech, and they had an ugly sweater contest, and this was our first time meeting a lot of each other face to face. And there's this one woman who I've talked with back and forth. Her name escapes me right now, but who I've talked with back and forth, and we knew of each other, but this was our first time meeting face to face. And first time I saw her was like 2 other people, and I went, hey, wow, your sweater is really ugly. You did such a good job on it. But what actually came out was, wow, you're ugly. And then there was like a pause for like 3 seconds, and I went, the sweater. So that again is up there in the most embarrassing things I've done. Luckily they knew what I was talking about, and they knew me to be that kind of person to just switch around words by mistake. But yes, that was very awkward. And it's like, Lee, why are you called a coworker ugly? He's like, no, it was the sweater. But she was cool and she knew what I meant, and we laughed about it, thank goodness. So a recruiter told me to give a brief high-level summary of my resume. I'm so confused on how deep summary. Made of somebody's resume. When they ask about, did you tell yourself? Kind of, they want to know... Okay, so I guess my question is this a third-party recruiter, or is this the internal recruiter doing the phone screen? Because those would be kind of different. Internal. They probably just wanted to know, like, I have 5 years of software engineering experience, 13 in C++ and 12 in AWS. So basically just something like that. They want to know how long you've been doing it, that kind of thing. They're probably not going to be aware of the important things you've done. So, that's... Is this going to show? I don't want this to show. No, this is a JPEG. I cannot click that part. Okay. So yeah, don't overthink it. The phone screen is just another check. High-level summary is just, I have X amount of time as a software engineer. And, 12 of those have been with Java, which I know that makes, no sense if you've been doing it for 8 years, and then 12 of those 8 years is Java, but I think you get the point of that. I got no sleep. I am running on fumes and caffeine, so. But yeah, just a very brief, and again, like the tell me about yourself would be basically the same. So, also, I need to respond to this email real quick. I checked my spam folder, and I am getting emails from the no reply, but I did not get the create an account email. It kept saying I did not have an account, and it couldn't find it. So there's a thing I need to put in a. That's real goodly. There is a website where I need to submit a bid opportunity for recruitment things, and it's not letting me log on, and I need to do it by Friday. So that's why I have to do that stuff. You're so cute. Yes, you are. Oh, your baby boy. Oh, did you say hi? Yeah. Oh, good stretch, buddy. Good scritches. The pup. Yeah, he was in a poncho yesterday, and it was adorable. We got it to him when we went on Mexico for a trip. He didn't go with us, though. He just had fun with the dog sitter. Because he's honestly real easy to dog sit. He just wants to cuddle all day. That's it. And he likes it when you sing to him. That's not even a bit. He legitimately likes it when you sing to him. He gets very happy. Oh, did I not even... I'm an idiot. This is how tired I am. I may have to delete the last video and redo it. Remake my original using template. Probably do contract would have been rote work. Probably XPCI before Omni Process or ArcVision. Now I need some back-end system cloud vision. JavaScript Node. Not sure how to list this type of experience being full stack iOS. Also, I'm a digital nomad. I say, but I am a U.S. citizen, can work U.S. hours, and native speaker. How do you list that type of information? That's actually tough. Okay, I have to go back to the previous one because I missed the note. I am so sleepy. All right, let's redo this. I don't know if I need to. There we go. All right, let's redo this take two. Which, oh, I have to delete the previous one. Okay. This is a resume of a senior mobile full stack architect. So, I think I know what you were trying to do. Also, that question mark was what you put in. What you said was you remade your original resume using my template, which good. They primarily do contract work and have been a remote worker since 2015. Primary expertise is iOS, but they're focusing on augmented reality devices. However, they often need backend systems for cloud. So they're not sure how to list this type of experience, essentially being a full stack iOS developer. And they are also a digital nomad as they currently live outside the US but are a US citizen and would prefer doing US hours. So there's a lot here. Formatting, couple of errors, not major, I want to be clear. This should be one line. This needs a space between employment and this needs to be italicized. This needs to be italicized. This needs to be italicized. So the first thing you're going to need to do, and I think I see this problem, is you're going to need 2 or 3 resumes, right? I looked up senior mobile full stack dev jobs. I didn't really find those. You know, I found full stack, I found architect, and I found mobile, but I didn't really find the combined ones. So what you may need is just to split this into 2 or 3 resumes, right? So, like, this stuff would be your first sentence on another resume, but wouldn't be in your iOS resume. While this stuff would be good in the iOS one, and then maybe for the Arc Kit or whatever the other one was, a third. So you shouldn't make this into a singular resume because it sort of dilutes what it's going for. So that is what I would suggest you do, is just to split it off. In regards to the digital nomad stuff, that is really tough. So this is not resume, and this is kind of the advice I usually give on my stream, but this is a good opportunity to do it. So the biggest issue with this is taxes. This is why you see a lot of jobs that say remote in X or Y city. Some of the time they want you to come in, but a lot of the time it's due to taxes. So the biggest issue you're going to find with this is a company that would accept a fully remote person may not actually be able to pay you a US salary. So you basically have to use your home address And again, this goes beyond the recruitment side. I want to be clear. I don't know the taxes of this, and please consult with an accountant. I do not want you to do anything wrong based on what I say, but your best bet from what I know is to just put a single location in the US, but you're still going to have to fill it out for like the I-9 and the, no, it's not the I-9, it's the W-2 form is still going to have to show. So I think you need to put whatever you would put on the W-2, but this goes beyond recruiting. So again, that is going to be your biggest issue is taxes. And nowadays, a lot of companies, if they can pay you outside the US, they will pay you in the currency or the rate outside the US. So you need to apply to those jobs quickly and hope they'll allow you to do that. But whatever you're able to put on your W-2, I think is what you're going to need to put. So formatting wise, again, pretty good. And I'm not going too much into the details because it's kind of 2 or 3 resumes. But from what I remember of iOS devs, this is pretty solid. So you're just going to need to fine tune it a little bit. But yeah, that's kind of all I can really say on this one. Because the digital nomad stuff is becoming, as far as I'm aware, less and less physically able to do it. Typically, companies want you to be in a certain state. So you're going to have to go based on your W-2. And again, I'm not an accountant. I'm not a lawyer. So that advice is not rock solid. That is just my best guess of what you should do. Please check with somebody. I do not want to give somebody advice that would be very bad. So that's the best I can do on this resume. And again, I want everybody to look at how this looks like, because this is very clean and easy to read. This is why I like this formula. So, and all they're really missing is the italicized stuff here and a small space here and single here. And that's not even a huge deal. So, but that's all I can really do in this resume. Let's go to the next. Okay, so there we go. That was what I had to do, because that is why you see a lot of remote jobs and they have to say in a certain state. And we have an ad in a second. So, because you have, if you do remote, they're probably going to say in a state. So not always, but it's kind of the problem. And here's also an issue: is the salaries depend on the state. So, it's getting less likely to do the digital nomad stuff, but that's also not something I have ever done myself. So, I know, Bear. I know. Clem gave you a treat. Come here. You have to stand up for it. I'm not going to give it to you lying down. Why are you up? Why are you backwards? Why are you backwards? Turn around. Turn around. Okay, that's not what you're... Okay. Okay. I don't know if you deserve that one, Bear. I'll be honest. I don't know if that one was deserved. Go back down, good boy. Just... I love you, Bear. You're such a goofy dog. You're so good. Yes. There's an ant in my water cup. I hate that. I hate that a lot. Hate ant season. That's the one problem with this place is ants go everywhere. We have to put out like 1,000 traps. Extra protein though? Yeah, that's fair. I don't know if I want that protein. Like, eating bugs, okay. But eating raw bugs? No thank you. Not here. I would very much prefer you know, like if they were factory farmed, I'd be okay, but I don't know where that ant's been. I don't want that in my mouth or my water. That also means I have to move the treats. No, you're not getting this. I'm just moving them so that the ants don't get into them. You will get it later. You will get more treats today. You know that. Don't look at me with those eyes. Alright, where are we? We are software engineer. Nope, that's the wrong one. Recent grad looking on back end. Gotten 1 to 2 interviews, 4 OA on top of the interviews. What's an OA? This person said I've gotten 1 to 2 interviews, 4 OA on top of the interviews. What is 4 OA? Are those like counting recruiter screens? Online assessments. Okay. Now, did I do that for the last video? Whatever, I'm not doing that a third time. No, I didn't. Okay. Yes, you can. Oh, right. You have the subscribers, so you can. Okay, so give me your email. Not in the main chat. Please do not do it in the main chat, but here. So give me that here, and I can search to see where you are in the queue. Not in the main chat. I do need a better way of doing this. it's not... I don't want people to... Okay, cool. That was the right chat. All right. Let's see this. All right. It is not going to be today, but probably Monday. There are, including this resume, 38 resumes ahead of you. So either Monday or Tuesday. We'll see how many I get through. But yeah, for Dylan, it's usually they just want the very quick overview. Nothing crazy. Honestly, that's usually a question that the hiring managers asked. So, the ATS merely organize the applications and you take notes and other stuff, right? Correct. A more robust ATS may be the index for keywords. Clem, they can. ATSs do have those capabilities, but not a lot of them. To the point where you don't have to really worry about it unless you're specifically applying for like an AI company. Now, again, that may change in a couple of years, but right now you don't have to worry about that. But yes, basically the ATS just keeps notes and tracks where they come. I really wanted to get art, like a art thing up, but I couldn't get it up in time. But yeah, it's ATS is the vast majority of them. So you like, obviously there's going to be exceptions, but you don't have to worry about those. Is just going to organize on a first come first base and keep notes. So one thing it does do though, which is beneficial, is, and you see this in a couple of things. So I had 35 to 50 recs at a time. Okay. And 3 of those recs were software engineers under different managers. So that did mean I needed to post 3 different software engineer job postings because they were all for different ones and they required slightly different ones. One person applied to all 3 and I was able to track where they applied in it. So sometimes they ask you if you want AI to review resume with opt-out. That's a trap. I mean, that may be the case of it's starting to become more common, but I haven't seen those, so I don't know. Can you tell me what ATS specifically asked that question? And I might be able to find out how those features worked. Also, if it's open sourced, maybe projects, that should work. But yeah, because specific ATSs are all different. But yeah, lethal list, probably projects. That's where I would put them. We have a software engineer. So they specifically said backend, and the very first thing I see is Python. So I'm going to assume this is a Python backend software engineer. Hopefully I'm correct about that. This person has a 1 to 75 ratio, and they just graduated, which again isn't bad. Like, it's not great, but it's not bad. It's like a C minus. It's still passing because they've gotten 1 to 2 interviews, and they've been searching for about a month and a half, and any feedback would be appreciated. So yeah, first thing is you sent this as a JPEG. I don't know if you just sent it to me as a JPEG, but if you send a JPEG, not a lot of ATSs will actually be able to parse that. Some can, some don't. So make sure it's a PDF. PDF is safest. So that is one thing that may go wrong. And then let's see if you have the stuff for a Python. So Python, SQL, Docker, Kubernetes, Django, Cloud, RESTful API, Agile, and a bonus for full stack. So develop Python. Also, your formatting is off. Again, please use my formatting. You can see it in the previous one, even though that wasn't exactly correct. It still shows how clean it is, and it's easier to read. So please use that formatting. Because again, this should be one line and not bolded. None of this should be bolded at all, but not a huge deal. So let's see the actual stuff. So developed a Python entity resolution packet using scikit-learn, implementing a modular API to standardize entity match or to 30% accurate. Okay, standardized SQL, PL. Okay, we have so far we actually have Python API and SQL, which is good. ETL, I see that sometimes. I would keep it in, but it's not a common one. CI/CD, pandas can be it. So do I see any cloud? I see Azure right down here. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna base this on the fact that I don't think this is a terrible resume. I think you can probably, what you do need is a summary for people that are not coders. Because this makes sense. Configured and monitored 15 plus security alerts in Azure. But I also want a little bit more of this. So Azure DevOps is fine, but I'm only really seeing IAC is okay too. I'm seeing a couple, right? This is why you're getting some interviews and why you're missing some. So first off, it's rough to search for your first job. That's always going to be the hardest search you will ever have in your life. Secondly, we want a little bit more keywords here, right? I have the SQL, which is good. I have the Skigit, which is okay. But I'd like maybe some Django or Kubernetes or Docker. Again, you don't need all of them, but a few of them. And then I want this to make sense to somebody who has no idea what to do in tech. Because this, I have recruited for tech. I cannot code myself. Again, I have a bachelor's in psych, and coding I cannot do. So, but I filled plenty of roles. So developed a Python entity resolution using scikit-learn, implementing a modular standard entity map workflows, blah, blah, blah. That's going to burn out the brain of the non-technical person. It's good because you have Python. It's good because you have scikit-learn and API, but I want this to be understandable. Keep the same keywords. Add maybe a little bit more keywords to this whole thing, and then this should just be a better summary sentence. And then if you fix the formatting and add some more keywords to here, mainly the language that you used, I think you will be fine. Because it already seems like you're getting interviews. It already seems like you're doing stuff. We just want to, what is the cooking one? They want to take it to the next level, right? That's all we want to do here. So that felt weird saying that, but this is a C minus, and I want to take it to a B plus. And changing those things would move it to a B plus. Yeah, that's kind of all I'm missing, because this stuff needs to be. So it's basically formatting, and then you're missing a little bit about the keywords. But again, not bad. I don't want you to think like terrible. This is getting you interviews. We just wanted to get you more interviews. So let's move to the next resume. All right. See, this reads like a data engineer. Maybe it is. They said back-end software, Buggy. That's all I know. Hey, Dreddy, how you doing? Dreddy749. I don't know why that makes me think of the Dresden Files. Yeah, Workday may have some. It was long ago during my Q4 search, but I know it wasn't those simple ATSs where everything is on a way. The interface was similar to Workday. Well, the problem with that is it could have even been Workday. It's just... Workday is customizable, right? That's great for the company, but bad for the candidate. Because you can add 1,000 little doodads to Workday. You can add AI to it, but that doesn't mean all of them have it. So, Taleo. Oh, I've worked with Taleo. Actually, my favorite was ADP and then Workday. I know Workday is not the greatest, but it did actually have some uses that were pretty beneficial. But my favorite was ADP. I think ADP was so far my favorite, and Taleo was in last place. It's Azure ETL more data engineer. They said, look, I don't know if it's data. Again, I can only do what they tell me. They said specifically this and software engineer. This is what they said in the chat. They said recent grad for software engineering, and they've been searching for about a month and a half, mostly on the back end. So maybe that would be better for a data engineer. I don't know. Okay, I can look that up, Clem. Give me a second. I am interested to see that. Because again, I don't want to be out of date with my Talentia, Sonaro, Tech. ADP did it. Nah, that's weird, huh? Interesting. ADP. I even liked ADP, but I didn't have that feature. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is it could be in a lot of stuff. And the last thing I had was from Recruiting Hell, which is not always what we're looking for. So, if you can do ETL in Python, you're probably fine. It's Python. I guess. Again, my job is not to tell how good you are at that job. So, can you suggest me some good resume templates? Never. But yes, sure. May I suggest my own resume template? There. Wait, the only question I need to know is, are you applying for an IC position or a mid-level manager, or are you like C-suite director level? Because that doesn't work for C-suite director level, but it works for basically everything else. Django is its own beast. It came from a model view controller and PHP in the diagram using that, but I would have had a hard time. Huh. I always find it funny when people are like, this coding language is the best. And they're like, because I lurk in some other coding Twitch channels, and it's funny how they all argue like, this is the best one. This is the best one. And in my mind, I'm like, I could not tell the difference between any of them. I have no idea what is better for what. But yes, that Dread is the best resume template I think you will find. So, but yeah, everyone's like, no arguing amongst which is the best language. And I'm like, all I know is the best. It's not what my job is. So, like, I think, in fact, if people put in a line of code in Java and a line of code in Python and a line of code in JavaScript, I would not be able to tell what is what. I want to apply for cloud data engineering, then yes, that formatting would be the best. That formatting is good for basically everything except very, very, very high level management jobs. So we're talking like director, CTOs, that kind of thing. Or if your work history is incredibly chaotic, or I think art. I think honestly artists might be better suited for that because their resumes don't always necessarily benefit from a chronological timeline. So, but yes, that format would be the best. I feel like for the most part, Python is transferable. So applying to embedded systems with just Python, then yikes. Well, I'll trust you. I don't know. I don't know. Look, that is not my race, all right? That is not a race that I am in. I am not running in that. I am off at the sidelines, just like eating popcorn, watching y'all insult each other based on using JavaScript versus, I don't know, I mean, Node.js, I guess. I think Node is for the backend as well. That was the thing that I first learned, because when I first started doing recruiting, it was a tech job, and the first thing I had to learn was that JavaScript is front end, Java is back end, and if you made that mistake, the engineer will immediately never trust you again. And then they put up with like, yeah, and there's Node.js, which means no JavaScript, and you know what you can do with that? It's back end. And then my mind was like, dang it. So C++, Python, same thing. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna agree with you just to make people's blood boil. Okay, good. This should still be... JavaScript is backend. It's more than JavaScript. It's not Java. See, that's the part that gets me. Because when I first started recruiting, I have about 5+ years. I took like a big break in between to see if I wanted to still recruit. So like 10 years ago when I first started, that. So I like your formatting asking for some good sites to prepare with better templates. What do you mean prepare with better templates? I'm not sure what you mean by that. This is a DevOps. DevOps. Okay, so we want DevOps. JavaScript is called Java because the marketing team named it that in the 90s because Java was the it thing. God, the history of this. Yep, that's wrong. Is it DevOps engineer? What do I want? Specifically DevOps engineer. Is there a difference between DevOps and DevOps engineer? Okay, I have to double check before I do this. I don't want to give them the wrong keywords, so we're going back to LinkedIn for this one. Just to make sure. Okay, so Fluzz. Such a weird thing. Alright, what are we looking for? We have DevOps, we have Go, Java, Ruby, Cloud Platform. Cloud is going to be similar. CI automation, ability breakdown, readable code, DevOps engineer. Ugh, $40 an hour. CI pipelines. Yeah, okay, so this is actually not the same as what I have. Alright, I have to redo this. So let's move a line above, which is DevOps engineer. Of course, there's... you should know by now that DevOps is very clearly defined. Yeah, you're right. I should have known this. I should have known that DevOps is clearly defined. I hate DevOps so much. Hate it. I hate it. Ask DevOps like 12 different dang things. I did see at least a couple of similarities between these positions. Okay, I need to redo this because this is not necessarily remote. So, but I did see a couple of things. So CI pipelines I saw. We do want the word DevOps. SQL, cloud is going to be the same. Manage priorities. I think maybe the multitask, multiple projects, because I think that's kind of important. And then we have Linux, maybe. We'll see if Linux is needed. AWS, yep, we have cloud. Yeah, and cloud services, so the other stuff. Python, Bash, Ruby. I saw those specifically before. Then we have, so we have Jenkins, Azure, DevOps. Stupid DevOps. Making me redo stuff. We have this, which is IAC. See, now I see why you said that looked more like the thing, is that was an IAC thing. So I get it now. Or do I? I don't know if I get it. Is it still raining? I think it stopped. Tools, Datadog, CI/CD. Did I put CI/CD? I did put CI/CD. Okay. And then they have preferred, which is AWS, again, cloud. Okay, what? Join us, CI/CD, IAC. Okay, so we're actually closing in on this. Terraform, Cloudflare, Ansible. I think this would qualify under its tools, and tools such as Terraform, CloudFormation, Ansible. Okay, is there anything else we are looking for? We have Git, we have AWS, we have Azure, Node, NGI. How do you pronounce this? Ginks? Like Ginks, like a I don't even know about that one. NGINX. That is a weird one. Oh my gosh. CI/CD. Okay, we're good. Python, web testing, Ansible. Okay, I think we've got this one. I just want to do one more double check. Because DevOps, yep. Azure, yep. Kubernetes. Did I put Kubernetes? I should have put Kubernetes. Kubernetes. And then they did have like scripting stuff right here. Show PowerShell, Bath, Python. Let's put this over here. Oop, teeny PowerShell. Engine EX. It's a web server. Okay. I've hired DevOps before too. Every single one is different. Every single one is different. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Alrighty. Okay, so this should be specifically what we're looking for. They said they've updated for the stream, but please read this instead of the old. Still 0 after applying tracking messaging higher managers. Interesting. It may be okay. So Google Partner Accounting. I don't know if that's there. All right. Good. And let's go in, and then can I just do a check real quick? Okay, good. It's the right one. What? Is this font right? I think this font is right. Okay, they need the space is there, the space is there, that's fine. Okay, good. This is a resume of a DevOps engineer. I don't know why it's right there in front of me. So what we're going to be looking for is a lot. CL pipelines, DevOps, SQL, Cloud, multitask, multiple projects, Python, Bash, Ruby, PowerShell. You don't need all of those, but you need a few of them. Jenkins, GitLab, CI/CD, Azure, DevOps, infrastructure as code, IAC, and tools of that such as Terraform, CloudFormation, and Ansible, along with Kubernetes. There are probably more, truthfully, but this person has not had any luck, so they redid their resume, which is good because now it looks good formatting wise. This should be in bullet points, but beyond that, it's okay. So let's see if they actually have. Oh, also, this should be italicized, and this should be moved a little bit further to the right. Also, you do not need this 11 months thing. That's okay. So we have Azure. That's good. Let's see. Developed knowledge Terraform. We have Azure. Okay. We have Azure. Okay. I'm starting to see a problem. Multiple languages. C++, Python. That's okay. Members on the Terraform. That is okay. Terraform. Compliance for framework development practice and for BDT shift for Azure. Okay. Again, Azure. So this is probably the problem. Also, again, this needs to be italicized. So, in this entire thing, I found two things I wanted. One was Azure, which was good. That's important. And the other was C, Node, JS, Python, and Golang. But if you look here, that's good that we have Python, but nothing else. I think I saw DevOps somewhere, right? I don't know if I even saw DevOps, actually. Did I see DevOps? No, it's way at the bottom under there. So, part of this problem is they don't know you're a DevOps engineer. Because they don't see anything saying DevOps. They also don't see CL pipelines. We don't see any SQL. I might have missed SQL, but I don't see it off the top of here. I don't see SQL. I do see Cloud, which is good. I help mentor teams. That's fine. Custom role is fine. I don't see how you multitask, which can be important, and I don't see infrastructure as code. I only saw Terraform. So you're missing a lot of these, and that's kind of the problem is I don't see enough here. I only see Azure. And the reason you're not getting DevOps engineer positions is the recruiter is going to look at this and be like, oh, okay, lead infrastructure engineer. And then they're not going to see anything about DevOps here. They're not going to see any of the keywords they're looking for besides maybe Python and Azure, which is good, but you can use Azure for other stuff. So they don't know you're a DevOps engineer, and that's probably your problem, why you're not getting any luck with it. And if I go down, I still don't see it. I don't see anything you've done with the word DevOps. I know that sounds crazy, but like, you ask 12 engineers what DevOps are and you get 15 different answers. So I need to see specifically CL pipelines. Those were in a lot of them. I need to see DevOps. I need to see SQL. You have cloud. That's good. Keep the cloud. That's good. But to the Azure. But I don't even see Azure DevOps. I don't see infrastructure as code. I only saw Terraform. I know those can kind of be the same, but just put infrastructure as code, ISE such as Terraform. I don't see Kubernetes. I only see Python. I don't see one or two of these. You need a little bit more than just Python. You don't need all four of these, but at least two. I don't see how you multitask. So that's your problem, is your title is not giving off the impression of a DevOps engineer. And specifically, your experience is not giving up a DevOps engineer. And if a recruiter is not going to find it in this, and then they're going to look here and they're not going to see it, it doesn't matter. They're not going to go past that, right? Like, you may have stuff here. They're not going to see that. Yeah, they're not going to go that far down. So, italicize this. These should be in bullet points. Italicize this. And then we really need the keywords. The formatting is not the issue here, all right? This is a keyword issue. I don't see that you are a DevOps person. And you can rail on me in the comments as much as you want, but it's not showing up. And the fact that you have 150 to 1 or no interviews after 300, which is I think what you said, showcases that is the issue. This is a keyword and qualification issue, less so than a formatting issue. It's good that you have the formatting. This is good formatting, but there's a reason I say formatting is 40% of your grade. Is if you have the best formatting ever, but not the right bullet points, it's not going to pass. So your formatting is fantastic. That's great. Just a couple of quick tweaks, but we need these bullet points. I need Git, I need CI/CD, I need Jenkins, I need infrastructure as code, I need CL pipelines, I need the word DevOps. I want the word DevOps in multiple places here, right? This is the most important part of your resume by far. I want some DevOps here. So that's all I can really give to this one. And I do want you to get a position, but this is a bullet point problem and a keyword and qualification issue, not a formatting issue. So. And if you can look on a bunch of different DevOps engineer positions that are going to have those keywords. Not all of them, but you need to meet about 75% of them, especially the word DevOps. So let's go to the next resume. So you mentioned uncertainty with the new ad and tariffs that fade off the tough market. Is there any industry you're finding hasn't been affected? I mean, nursing. Nursing is still hot. Medical is still hot. I mean, the biggest problem is it's been accounting, as far as I'm aware, is still solid. Maybe a little less so, but it's still solid. The biggest issue is it's basically a white collar recession, right? Like, the jobs that actually allow you to sustain yourself, with the exception of like nursing and accounting, are going away. So like, there's plenty of jobs that won't pay enough, and here's a good way to do it. You can just do recruiter. In fact, it's a giant snowball without getting political. There's so much uncertainty. They were talking about affecting. Yeah, correct. And if Medicaid and Medicare get hit, nurses might get hit too. That's kind of thing. Is it trickle? I hate saying this. It actually does trickle down. When you fire people up at the top, it trickles down into all the other positions. So this is not a thing of trickle down economics works, because it doesn't. But this is a fact, is when you fire anybody, the higher up in a position you let go with mass layoffs, the less good it is for everybody else below them. And after the commercial, I'll tell you how we can find out what industries are still pretty solid. We can do not IT, TA, or talent. I can never spell acquisition. Oh, I spelled it right. All right, there should be. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Patient industry. Where are we going? We're doing industry law practice. Let's see that. There's 133. Construction, 214. That's good. Transportation logistics, 248. Is this the same? No. Financial, 328. Retail, 515. 668 for hospital, staffing and recruiting, and software development, 540 actually, IT and service and consulting. 3, technology, internet, 275, internet publishing. Okay. All right, we're back. My company is hiring a ton. I see half a dozen houses every 1.5 weeks. We're in the physical therapy software. That's good. Heck, if your company needs recruiters, contractors, hit me up. I would love to start filling those roles. But a good way to determine if your industry is hiring or not, or is doing well, is to look up how many recruiters are being hired. On average, a recruiter will maybe fill between 25 and 70 positions a month, depending on the recruiter. So if you do like recruiter and like nurse, it would be healthcare, actually, not nurse. So healthcare, you can determine how many are hiring. So. And there's more, because there's also IT, is TA, which is talent acquisition, that kind of stuff. So there's a bunch of different names. So you can always search for recruiter or TA or talent acquisition and see basically how they're hiring. Because if they're hiring recruiters, it means they're going to be hiring other people. I need to check my email again because I really need that email to go through. I'm going to have to make another... Oh my gosh. Alright. Let's see, maybe this is it? Sorry, I need this to be found. This is an important thing for my business. So, is this actually not going to show up? Great. Great. All right. At the next break, I'm going to have to send another email. Also, I clicked off. That's why you just hear double real quick. So let me go back to this. So, no open roles for recruiting right now, but keep in mind, it's all internal. Yeah, no worries. I mean, whenever, I'll be honest, if anybody wants to really help me, if your company is going with outside recruiters, throw my hat in the ring. That's how to really help me, because that would be appreciated. If your company does outside external recruitment, give me that. So, but I know in this market it's not as much. Okay. and I've placed enough to be content for this year, but not as much as I want. So, which is also why I can do this. All right. This is a resume of a junior software engineer. They said they're international student that graduates in June, and they will then transition to a 2-year work visa. It says you have a 1 in 25 ratio. That's fantastic. Like, if you actually have a 1 in 25 ratio, amazing. Absolutely amazing. If that's not correct, then we're going to have issues. But so what we're going to be looking for is going to depend. I need to know what kind of software engineer you are, because front end, back end, full stack all have different stuff. So let's see if I can figure it out. Spearheaded a cross-functional agile team to manage over Jira tickets, achieving on-time delivery. Okay, that says what I need. Collaborate on the integration of cloud services, AWS APIs. That's fine. Capabilities, ensuring COH compliance. Okay, these are not terrible. I just need more keywords. And it does seem that you are in Sydney, which, where is this? I think this is Australia? New Zealand? Yeah, this is Australia. So I'm not an Australian recruiter. I don't know what the job market is in Australia for this. Would this pass in the United States? Probably not. The AWS is solid. The Agile is solid. It basically just needs these down here. So how I would at least switch this, if you were applying in the US, which again, you're not, so it might change things, is switch this up top from the skills section, add these skills to here and here and here, and fix the formatting. I know that's not a lot, but like, it also may be the case that you don't need it. It may be that this is a good resume in Sydney, in which case keep that. I'm not a Sydney recruiter. I don't know what Sydney does every night. I don't know what she does. I don't keep track with Sydney. We're not really friends. I think I'd be cool to be a friend with Cindy, but or Sydney. But anyway, that joke's run its course. So I need more. I think it's good that you have AWS. I think it's good that you have API. It's good that you have Agile. Those are solid. I just need to know what stack you are. In fact, I would be interested in a little test of, if you fix the formatting, add these to here, and then moved your education up top, apply with both of these resumes and see if my resume would be better in Sydney, Australia. Because again, it may not be. It may be the case of, in Sydney, Australia, this is a better resume than mine, because I'm a United States-based recruiter. So I don't know. And I wish I could give you more solid advice, but that is the problem of sort of doing this cross-continentally, is sometimes things don't translate. So that's what I would suggest, and then see which one works. Because if this is really getting you 1 to 25, that's good. You may not even need to change it. But if you change it and then you get even more, it's going to be even better. So let me know. I'd be interested to see, comment on this video after you fixed it and send it out to see if my formatting is better in Australia, or if this is the way to do it. But that'll be it for this video, not the stream. I am still streaming. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you need more help, come on my stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 11 a.m. PST. And I look forward to helping you there. Bye. Okay. That's also the difficulty, is like, did they actually do 25 to 1? Or were they spending like 5 months handcrafting those resumes for that? Or is this just a better format in Sydney, Australia? And I don't know. Because I don't know. I just don't. It's not my knowledge base. Gosh, I think I need to make another technical support thing. So let me do this. Just a second. I have to do this on the other screen. I know this is not very exciting, but I absolutely need to do this. And I really need it done before Friday, because I have to do a lot of paperwork for this. And if I can't do it, that is an issue. That is a big old issue. So... let's see, I checked my people on like I did not create an account email, I can say it. I have checked both spam filters and was not sent. Okay, let's see if that can send request support. All right, we're back. Let's see, that is 83.5. Okay. There we go. What is the next one? Alright, I'm assuming they're okay with this because they doxed everything else. Is this a real person? Hold on. I need to check to see on the other screen to see if this is a real person. I think this is a real person. Why would you do this? Why? All right, let me move this over here so they can't see it. All right. Okay, what are you? Another intern. Okay, I'm in my last year of university, so I'm actually applying to both internships and new grad positions. Okay. That's a problem. This is a resume review of a software developer intern. Or actually software developer. They're kind of looking for both, which I'll get into in a minute. And by minute, I mean right now. So if you're applying to intern positions, there is a fundamental difference in applying to full-time positions. In fact, you should not use the same resume you use for internships that you use for full-time. With the exception of like master level internships, if you're doing like bachelor level internships, your qualifications are going to be different. So for interns in particular, I just need a basic knowledge of the tech stack. I need your language library, SQL, cloud, that kind of stuff. I need the ability to work well with others, and I need the takes direction and criticism. Now, the problem with that is that's great for interns. If you're looking for a full-time position, then it's going to change based on if you're front-end, full stack, back-end Java, back-end C, or back-end Python. As an example, back-end Python is this, and that's going to be different than all the others. So you are going to need 2 resumes. One for the internships, one for the full-time jobs. So I'm going to dig into that and see which is which, but I don't think it's going to work because you really can't have a resume for both. And you have a ratio of 100 to 1. So this should be 1 line, maybe 2, and you can keep the available for this. This, again, isn't really needed. You've listed everything to the point where it doesn't matter. And again, skill sections largely are not relevant. Full stack developer. All right, here we're going to actual stuff. Canadian revenue. This should be 1 line. So the formatting on this is very off. Also, just to remind everybody, please like, comment, and subscribe. Really helps me out. I appreciate it. This is the formatting you should be using. It is on my website. The link is below. It is basic. It is simple, and it will get you a job. Although formatting is only 40% of the actual resume part. Like, if we have to score your resume on a grade, 40% of it would be formatting. So if formatting alone will not get you a job, but it will help. All right. So design and optimize SQL. That's fine. Led full stack development of struts. Okay. Jira business. Okay. Yeah. So this doesn't give me enough for a full-time position, at least here. This is actually solid and gives a good amount. I actually like this. This is solid. RESTful APIs. Okay. So this does not give me enough. I need to know which languages you used primarily of these ones. SQL is great. Keep the SQL. Keep the Jira. If you're going for full-time, though, I'm going to need to know what your stack is, and I don't know what that is. I know you use SQL, which is good, but that's kind of in most of them. SQL is in, like, most... You kind of need SQL no matter what you're doing. I don't know why, but that's in every single job description practically. So, and you said full-stack development. I want more. What is it? TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. I need those things here. Now, if you were... This sentence can be changed. So for internships, you need to tell me how you collaborated with them, right? Did you go into meetings? Did they give you like criticism, that kind of thing? Well, for a full-time position, I'm going to need a little bit more keywords for that. So that is the difference between the two of those. So also they doxed everything else except maybe the name. So I think that's okay to put in. You know, if it's not and you really don't want that shown, then I will edit the video and delete this entire section. But I think since you leave everything else, should be fine. So yeah, this isn't a good one, a good project. Your formatting is off, but primarily is I don't see what I would need to move you forward as an engineer for a full-time job. You might have enough here for a internship, but I think you really need to split these resumes into two. And the internship one is going to be an okay amount of keywords, which you kind of have, but a little bit more about working together, while the full-time position is going to be, well, more keyword-based. So that is all I can really say on this one. I don't think it would pass for a full-time job, but it would maybe pass for an internship. And I think the fact that you have 1 in 100 is probably showing that as well. So we need to split this into two resumes if you're doing that. Let's go to the next one. Ugh, my throat. Right, did thou answer my email? Thou did not. Please answer my email. I really needed this. So much paperwork and I cannot physically start until I get access to that account. Oh, I'm going to be up for a long time if that's the case. That is just going to absolutely suck. All right. What is this? Sled account? Like sleds? Like sleds? No, account executive. Okay. Oh, account executive is so broad. 200K a year plus sales account role. Okay, so I think that's what they're looking for. Alright, so they are looking for 200K plus account executive roles. How many of them are there? There are 1,000 in the United States. I mean, probably a lot of them are going to show the commission aspect. But let's see. So, leaders in startup leads, emerging tech. Okay. Negotiating. So we are going to have obviously selling to stakeholder. So we're selling, negotiating to negotiating, and then we're going to have stakeholders, technical stakeholders, IC to C. Customer needs, passion, markets. Requirements, B2B sales, right. We want B2B. revenue targets, non-revenue based goals. Okay. Okay, that wasn't a good job description. Capital markets, B2B business development. Okay. HubSpot. Okay, I think this is good. B2B, we have that. Communication, account exec. Oh man, easy apply. Ugh. Give the HR, and then probably industry. All right, almost done. Yeah. All right, so then it's previous success. This is a resume of an account executive. So they have done 50-to-1 ratio, and they're looking for about 200 plus K salary account roles. So there are not a ton of those, admittedly. I only found 1,600 on LinkedIn. Obviously, there's going to be a few more than that because commission is sometimes hard to calculate based on these things, but the competition for that is going to be pretty big. So what we're going to be looking for primarily is going to be selling, now obviously negotiating, stakeholders, technical stakeholders that you've negotiated and dealt with people from IC to C, B2B, you've exceeded revenue targets and non-revenue based goals, capital markets, biz dev, industry, and probably the most important, even though it is last, is you've had previous success. I need to understand particularly how you succeeded, how important it was, and why we should move you forward. So, let us begin. Your formatting is not good. Please use the formatting I have. It's a lot clearer. These conflicting colors and types of stuff will make it much harder for your recruiter to find what they need. So, and these bullet points are way too fancy. But achieved Summit Club status. Okay, you have to describe what Summit Club status is. I don't know what a Summit Club status is. I don't. You will have to describe that to me. You can say, like, exceeding sales quotas and demonstrating top tier is great, but I don't know what you... So here's the thing. Industry is important. I don't know what you do. You say you're a sled account executive, so you sell sleds that, like, you know, Huskies use in Alaska. I don't know what you do. You need a summary sentence right here about what you do. And you need to show me what you do. How do you do it? I need to know that. Remember, I want you to make the summary sentence like you're at a career day for a kindergarten. If you go to a career day and you say, there's a bunch of kindergartners and they go, "Hey Lee, what do you do?" And I go, I achieved Summit Club status in FY 2004, which exceeded sales quotas and top tier performance. Those kids are going to be like, "What? I don't understand. What did you do?" So I need you to describe it in a way that they would understand. And then the rest of them can be your actual accomplishments. But this is solid, but I still want a little bit more. Drove a 27% year-over-year increase in net new accounts, significantly expanding our market share. That's solid. I'd like a little bit more. Secured high-value contracts with site navigation complex processes, contributing to overall company growth. Again, this one's actually solid. I like this. But I want to know a little bit more about how you did that. Did you do it through cold calls? Did you do it through outreach? Just give me a little bit more, right? Like, you're giving me the what and the why, but you're not giving me the how. And I really need the what you did, how you did it, and why you did it. And right now you're missing sorry, I moved my hand down. That was not what I meant to do. The what, the how, the why, and you are missing the why. So yeah, I'm done with the hand thing. The what, the how, and the why, and you're missing the how. All right? I need to know the how. You are not telling me that. I need to know. Establish long-term loyalty evidence. But again, how did you do it? These are good keywords. These are right. And this is why you're getting a 1 in 50. But you can probably get this higher. Seems like you're a very solid salesperson. I just need to know more. You need to give me the how. Top performing organization benchmark. Okay. Implemented for sales. I don't know if these are as needed. This is okay if you're going to IT because it shows that you at least know IT, but ideally as an account executive, I need more. So the bulk of yours should be here. So could I move this forward? Probably. I think 1 in 50 is, again, a C- for this type of role, and I think it's accurate to say that it would be okay to move this forward now and then, but your accomplishments are not, you're not showing how you did what you did, which could be very much a deal breaker for the manager, and I could not move you forward in every role. So that's what I have to say about this one. Again, this is a 15-1, so I think a C- is accurate. It passes, but barely. And I think if you do those changes, which is fix up the bullet points and fix up the formatting, you might be able to get like a 1 in 25, 1 in 35, give or take. So I know it's still a lot, but the market's bad, but it's better than 1 in 50. So next resume. President's Club, aka one of the top sellers. No, I know. I actually do know that. Honestly, I'm a little salty about that stuff. I actually met President's Club, and they fired me before I could collect and hit me commissions at one of the first companies I worked with. So I do know what President's Club and Summit Club is. It's just, which I'm so salty about, but... Sorry, not fired, laid off. They laid off basically a ton of people that hit the President's Club, so they didn't have to pay out those bonuses. But I know what that is. The problem is not everybody would, so that is why I said it like that, because I assume that means they're in the top percentage of the sales. Typically they exceeded the company goals by a huge amount, and typically it's they give them like a trip or a huge bonus, but I need to make sure that it's that not everybody would know that. So I basically have to play the heel of a recruiter that doesn't know anything sometimes, I think, just so that people understand, because not everybody is me, and it's very possible that even though I know what that is, that may be the reason that they're not getting positions. So, also at this next ad break, which is in a minute, I got to take the doggo out, and I need to refill my water that was not covered in ants. So, I will be back after this. Just give me a couple of minutes. So, but yeah, I do know what it is. It's important to describe that broadly, because you never know what somebody doesn't know, and the assumption that this person knows X is probably the biggest reason people get declined from jobs. It is assumed that they know X, so I do not need to put it in the resume. So I need to call those out, even if I do actually know what they are, because that is like the biggest thing. Is of course they would know X. Why wouldn't they? So. There we go. This is helpful. Good. I think I got the email I was looking for, and I can fix it. You can do that after the stream. So, but yeah, I President's Club is cool, and I get it. It's just, but also they didn't say like how they did it, because like, did they beat the other salespeople, or did they just meet the goals? Like, there are ways to describe it to make it even better. So, but again, it's not a terrible resume. Like, it's just need more. I need more. Never. The biggest thing I can ever say is never assume the other person reading your resume knows what you do, even if they're as technical as you. That is the biggest fault I've seen people do. So, all right, I will be right back. Give me like 3-5 minutes, if that, and I will be back. Come on, Bear. You need to go outside. Yes, no, that's not a treat. You need to go outside. Come on, buddy. I'm back. And I got passion fruit dried. Oh, go. Hey, bear. Oh boy. Ah! Can y'all read this? Like, this is... that's hard to read. Oh boy. Yeah, I can barely read that, but whatever. I have to look this up. All right. Let's see. And business director. Don't need this. I mean, it's assumed. This means there are not a lot. Business development. Are they looking specifically for director? Because there's only 99. Okay. I have to do an actual Boolean search for this one. I hope they are. I really wish they were in chat, because this is something I could really help me do if they were in chat. So if we're looking for this, we're looking for VP. I assume VP, director, or senior, or SR, or VP, or vice president. Oh, wrong button. President. All right. And we have business development. What is another word for business development? Chat, let me know if you have any. I would very much appreciate it. Business development, other terms, business promotion, trade promotion. There's gotta be biz dev. I do know biz dev. Looks like it's just that. That's upsetting. Business development. Or biz dev. I don't think LinkedIn is going to have that as biz dev. Let's see if this actually pulls up anything. I got the song from Epic the Musical in my head. The Paradise. Okay, there we go. This is it. Okay, I can actually put this in as a thing. So that's the Boolean search that I had to use for this. Okay, so what the heck do they do? VP Corporate Business Development, that's fine. See, successful strategic transactions. And I can just say successful transactions. We're going to go with industry. Very much industry. Boring. All right. Senior vice president. Maybe I move out the VP role. I mean, a VP at one company may be different than the director at another. But let's see if I can take out the vice president part. Where did I even put the vice president part? Okay, it's at the very end there. Let's see if this makes it better. This is tough because I don't know this person, and if they're not in the chat. Okay, they still say senior VP. Director, business development. Okay. Experience, industry, C-suit. business leaders and with IT and procurement organizations. I don't normally put the Boolean searches up, but it's needed for this one. Oh, and I forgot to do the darn thing. There we go. Okay, Director of Business Development. IT, B2B target, sales. Okay. Okay, that's not important. There we go. I can move this in my pocket. Hi, Bear. What do you want? What do you want, buddy? Bachelor's degree, negotiating record for accounts. I mean, this is largely going to be industry-based as well. Okay, bachelor's, MDA, strategic licensing deals. Yeah, they have to prove success. Director, business dev. Customers, industry partners. Yep, that's what I got. Okay. I mean, this is all I can do for this one. This is what I got. This is a resume of a business development director. So, full disclosure, director level positions actually may require a slightly different resume. There is another format that I have. The format that I have is primarily for non-director level. It's possible this person could use that or not, but the other format may be better. It's just kind of a nightmare to teach, so I don't really teach it unless people specifically ask for it on the stream, because again, it's really only for like high-level director type of positions, which this one may qualify for. So this person is, again, Director of Business Development. They have a 1 to 50 ratio, which is like a C-. It passes, but barely, but it does pass. And I think that's the important part. Sometimes it is important to just pass. So what we're going to be looking for is going to be a little bit different than the other ones. As this is a director level, we are primarily going to be looking for little stories. They are all going to be based on how you succeeded and how you solved problems involving these. So I don't want to just see the keywords. This is a qualification based. I don't want to just see the keywords industry. I want to know what industry you are. I want to see that you've done long sales with multiple stakeholders. You've done B2B. You've negotiated from C-suite level to business leader level with IT and procurement. You've done successful transactions. And in addition, I don't normally do this or put this up, but this is the Boolean search that I use to pull up the positions. If you are the director who's reading this, you can just copy paste this directly or type this in. Every little bit of this matters. So even that a space is wrong, so do not miss any punctuation or space. This should pull up a lot more positions than just Director of Business Development. So the very first thing about this is an eyesore. This is the way it shows to me. I don't even know if this is legible for people. I'm going to try to increase the font, I guess, to make it more legible, but so yeah. This, you don't want this. You don't want it to be this stuff. I had to increase the font size. Font size should be 10.5 Arial. I don't know what this is, but something about this is making this very hard to read for me. So, highly organized results of special development with a robust background in automotive and industrial automation. Okay, again, you don't need a summary for this type of resume, but you might need a summary for the other type of resume. Also, again, never combine those two types of resumes. They do not work together. So I don't think this is very much needed. You should probably have your education, which I don't see anywhere here. Some of them did require it. It was a benefit to just put up top. But created and executed a strategy of growth in cybersecurity. So cybersecurity is good because I know what industry it is. Problem is, I don't know how successful this was. So obviously the formatting is off on this. I don't like any of the formatting, but I'm going to go to the content of this. So, establish new client relationships by targeting key industries and sectors that require cybersecurity services, mainly targeting small to medium-sized business. This is solid. I just need to, and this shows that it worked. Also, it should be established. Everything should be past tense, not current tense, even if you're still at the job. I know that's weird. It just flows better. This should also be one sentence, but I mean, in general, like, I know there's a lot of things I'm saying to fix on this. This is reason this is a C-, is this is still passing. It's barely passing, but it's still passing because you mentioned the industry. You did mention how you did this, which is good. So this part is solid. I just want to know how this succeeded. Identified and pursue new business opportunities from scratch, focusing on lead generation conversions. I need to know the success stories. This is the difference between writing an IC resume and a director level resume. Is for IC positions, which is individual contributors, they tell you what a problem is and then you immediately fix it. For director levels, your jobs is to solve those problems and direct others to solve those problems and anticipate future problems and fix them. And I'm not seeing that in this resume. Again, it's not terrible. I see a little bit of how you do here, but you could do more. Heavily focused on scaling revenue. How? Through targeting. And what was the result of that? You're just telling me the what. You're not telling me the how or the why. Providing regular Salesforce project report analysts to the team. That's fine. I like that. But what team? How big was the team? Was it your team? Was it the other person's team? Stay up to date with the latest trends in cybersecurity to inform sales tactics and product offerings. That one's actually solid. I don't think you need to change anything. So, close 450 of automation project within the 4-6 months of the start of the company. Tracking sales. I don't know what the second part is, but this is solid. Remember, every single one is a single line. So every single bullet point is a single line. Created a business development process for onboarding new team members. Again, how was that successful? But it's not bad. See, portfolio of clients. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I need to read the rest of this. I think the same problem is occurring throughout this, is you are not giving me enough detail. Right? You do not need to say sold 3 billion percentages of quarter XY, which is a 17% increase compared to 13% of the 14%. But I would like to know just a little bit more. Like, what was this growth strategy, right? Like, created and executed a sales strategy of targeting people on TikTok, which succeeded in driving growth in our cybersecurity market. That would be a fine sentence. Establish new clients targeting key industries and sectors that required cybersecurity by cold emailing them and blankety blank, small to medium-sized business, which resulted in new customers, that kind of thing. So that's really what I'm looking for, and why you're getting 1 in 50. But I think you could probably get like 1 in 30, 1 in 40 with that, or maybe even 1 in 25 if you just fix the bullet points and the formatting. Again, this is 25% increased speed. This is what it actually looks like. So fix the formatting for sure. Even if you don't use the other format that I could tell you about, just make it way easier to read, because this is an eyesore. Like the colors and the small font and everything. So that is all I can do in this one. But again, C-, does pass, barely, could be very improved, but again, does pass. The important thing is it does pass. So let's go to the next. Was this 83? Yeah, this was 83. They said full stack. I'm so happy. So happy. They actually told me full stack. I can actually put in the whole thing. Open to front end, back end, US, no sponsorship? I assume they mean no sponsorship required, but if they don't have any sponsorship, then that's a little bit of an issue. What is this? 84. Is that right? 84? That was 83? Yeah, okay. 84. Sorry, y'all, give me a second. My sinuses are destroying me. Alrighty. Software engineer. My sinuses are on fire right now. I am struggling to look in a straight line. And this is why the font and formatting is great, because if your recruiter is dealing with this, they may miss something important, and that's not what you want them to miss. So let's brain. Let's brain. That's what I want to say. Let us brain. Okay, I think that's it. I don't know if they mean they don't have any. Yeah, I'm not sure what they mean by that, but okay. This is a resume of a software engineer full stack. So thank you very much for telling me what you are. It makes it a heck of a lot easier. What we're looking for is TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, SQL, React, API, REST, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, and any extra languages. You also said you're open to front end or back end, but we're going to look specifically at full stack because front end resumes or back end resumes are going to be different resumes. And then you said US no sponsorship. I don't know if that means you need sponsorship or you don't require it, but that's not really related for reviewing the resume anyway. So, all right, let's review it. So formatting's off. Too much bolding. Again, these lines can make it worse. Because like right now, look, here's why the formatting is important, right? You need to judge a resume in 15 seconds. And if the recruiter is, say, having a giant headache because of their sinuses, a la this one, it's possible they may miss something in those 15 seconds. So, and easier formatting means it's less chance to be missed, because you always need to take into account human error involving your resume and interviewing in general. This should be one line and italicized and not bolded. So developed React Native and integrated NoSQL with Google Cloud Platform, enabling authentic real-time database. Okay. I'd like a little bit more, but that's still not bad. Used React and Node.js, developed JavaScript web application with interface live events. JavaScript's fine, collaborative and agile, Notion, and then you said, should I add more below? Yeah. So the problem is I've only got Node.js, JavaScript, SQL, and Cloud. I don't see CSS. I don't see HTML. I don't see TypeScript. I don't see Angular. And again, you don't need all of these, but you need most of them. You do have SQL, which is good. You do have React, which is solid. I don't know if I saw REST. So you're missing a couple of things here. Not a ton. You just need to add them to like this. But other than, and also you should do GCP. So say Google Cloud Platform and then parentheses GCP in case the recruiter isn't aware that Google Cloud Platform is GCP. That is a small chance, but it is possible. And then should you add more below Figma? Again, the problem is, you know what, API is good. You actually do want the API up there. But my issue here is, again, I don't see the CSS, HTML, or TypeScript. Led software project with front end using or? You don't need to say or. You can just say React, HTML, CSS, and backend using Python and Django. See, this is a great one. Guiding 5 teams per year through cloud object-oriented design, 10 applications for you. This is actually phenomenal. I really like this bullet point. I don't know if you need this part of it right here, but overall, this is actually a pretty good bullet point. In fact, I want you to start writing this, particularly the first one, like this. This is a phenomenal bullet point, has almost everything I need in it, and it's great. So, but yeah, after that, that's kind of it. Again, big thing is formatting here is off, so it's hard to read. And, you know, the hardest job search you will ever have is your first job search, but I don't think this is terrible. The problem is if you are looking for sponsorship, you're going to... Oh, also, here's an issue. maybe you just deleted them, but you do need where you're located, because finding a remote job like this is going to be very difficult. You're probably going to need to go on site. So, overall, it's okay. I know you have 1 to 50, which means there's probably something else, an issue, which is maybe the formatting and the fact that probably they don't actually get to this. And it looks really weird when you have a project lead going into an internship when you've only done a bachelor's. So you could just do this as a project or describe it, but you have to describe this better, because saying project lead into intern is weird. So your formatting's off, your bullet points, your first internship needs better bullet points, and you do need the city and state you're applying to, along with your LinkedIn. And if you are needing immigration services, you need to describe to the recruiter in a very brief summary of if they could, because they may not be aware that they can just hire you on an OPT. And if you're not on immigration services, then it's beneficial to put green card or U.S. citizen in X. So, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend applying to remote jobs for your first job. Remote jobs have sort of become, you've been doing it for a couple of years, and you're willing to sacrifice some base pay to get a remote job. I wish that wasn't the case. I'm a huge proponent for remote jobs, but unfortunately that is sort of the world that we live in right now. So let's go to the next one. My remote internship in 2021 was a boring experience. Really? So you prefer on-site? Everybody boo him. No, I'm kidding. I honestly, what I found as a recruiter is that it's really about like an even split amongst all of those. Is some people prefer hybrid, some people prefer on-site, and obviously some people prefer remote, and it's honestly like a dead even split between them. Probably more in hybrid. So, yes, boo him only if he assists others RTO with him. But Harry doesn't do that, right? Harry, you're not. So, yeah, hybrid is the vibe. Like, honestly, I feel like most people prefer hybrid over remote. And I want to be clear, I prefer remote. I very much prefer remote. But I do understand that there is a large amount of people that prefer hybrid. Mainly because I get it. It's difficult to sort of split off your working life from your home life. And it's highly possible that you just sort of never turn off, which is not healthy. And one of the actual challenges of remote work, which is a challenge, is how to turn off. Like, when do you stop? Because there's a pretty easy, clear divide on on-site work, which is when you enter your home and leave your home, you're switching. But you never really do that in remote work. So, which, again, I've found that there are ways to do it, like have it in a separate room is beneficial, or have like a little ritual when you get off of work or get on work. Like maybe you wear a hat when you're working, and then when the work is done, you take the hat off. So, which can work, or like you shower after work, and that's your like clear, the work time is ended, it is now home time. So okay. We have 84.5. And all you could want, dear. I cannot get that song in my head. There's a thing called Epic the Musical, which is a musical about Odysseus' travels, and there's a couple of bangers in that, but a lot of bangers in it. But the one I really, really like is when he lands on the island and Calypso is talking to him, and I cannot get that song out of my head. It is so good. And I want to sing it, but I can't because I don't know how YouTube handles those stupid requests and stuff. So the All I Can Want Dear, that's so good. So good. It was a utility company, so maybe it was that aspect, actually. Well, maybe. I mean, look, there is something to be said for the camaraderie of in-office work. Like, I get it. In fact, as somebody who does remote, I actually do like going in like once a quarter or something just to see hi and see people face to face. So I get it. Because it definitely can be isolating, and it does take different management stuff. I still prefer remote, but to say there are no difficulties with it would be a lie. I think those difficulties outweigh the other ones, but yeah. All right, I'll do this one after the ad. In paradise. Dang it. It's in my head. Ba 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 ba. All right. Let's see. Clem is. I think it's beneficial, but it doesn't outweigh not having a commute working in PJs. No, I agree with you. Or do what? Canva? No, I do agree with you, Clem. Like I am pro remote work. I prefer remote work, and it definitely does for me outweigh all the other stuff. It's just a different management style, but I do very much agree that it outweighs not having to commute, that you save so much time, there's less wear and tear in the car, and it's just generally a better thing for me. Especially because, like, I have sensory issues, and I'll be perfectly frank, I don't really do well in an office with a lot of noise. Like, I kind of have to have an extremely quiet stuff. Like, that is why there is music playing, but I cannot hear it because the music would mess me up. The music is for y'all. I want to be clear. I don't want the music, but I know people like having music and there's a lot of downtime and people would sort of prefer that. So, but like the music is, I cannot hear the music that is happening because it messes me up. I need like a perfect silence, which you just don't get in an office. So... I can usually hang on for like a couple of weeks, but then my work really suffers. So I do agree with you that it doesn't outweigh the negatives. All right, let's go. This is a resume of a software developer. What kind? I don't know. All they said is they're on an F1 OPT. So again, if you are on an OPT, you need to sort of very briefly describe that you can work with no, whatever, or how that's going to go, because a lot of recruiters may not know, and I will be saying that if you are international, it's going to take you more. Like, instead of a 1 in 50, you may have a 1 in 100 to a 1 in 75. That's just, unfortunately, the thing is that as an international person, even with the correct visa, you are facing an uphill climb. So, let's see if the resume is going to be an issue with that. Again, I don't know what kind of software developer you are. So, Java maybe? Again, this can be 2 lines. This entire thing could be 2 lines max. Software development engineer collaborated with a team of 5 engineers to architect a Java Spring Boot microservices. Oh, that's actually really solid. So I'm assuming you're back-end Java, which I need to update. I don't think these are 100% the correct keywords. I think I'm missing a couple of them. So take this with a grain of salt. But what we'd be sort of looking for is Java, Cloud, Spring, Selenium, SQL, anything with JS, JavaScript, Maven, Full Stack, Apache, Rust, AIML, NLP, LLM. And there's probably more. I need to update that. I don't think it's complete. So immediately what I see, and you don't need to say collaborator, you just say worked with a team of 5 engineers to architect a Java Spring microservices. This is great. It's already like 3 or 4 keywords because I do know microservices is one that I was missing. Platform handling money dealing with Kafka. Kafka's perfect. Engineering a multi-thread recommendation. Lava, Java, Spring Boot, and MongoDB. Yep, perfect. AWS. Here's the thing. So first off, your formatting is off. It's not the worst formatting, all right? Again, it's not the worst formatting. This is still legible. It's just you can make it more legible. This right here, 2 things with this. One, you need to write out what IAC is and then put it in quotation, and then put it in brackets so that the recruiter knows, because it's possible they may know what IAC is or they may not. And then in addition, this should be your second sentence. You need to switch these 2 sentences. But other than that, this is very, very good bullet points. I really like them. Your formatting isn't helping, but it's very good. 2 developers, Spring Boot, CMS for Redis caching, API. Yeah, am I missing SQL? I'm missing SQL. So the only thing you're missing is SQL, and again, these 2 should be switched, and you need to write out what IAC is, and then put IAC in brackets, and then you can use IAC for the rest of your resume. That is how you teach people what they are, even if they don't know the skills off the top of their head. So, but otherwise, this is very solid. I actually like this. You didn't tell me how many you've applied for, but like I said, the only thing I'm really missing is SQL. And I know there's 1 or 2 things missing from here, but again, you have some of the stuff that I should have put in, like Kafka and MongoDB and the other thing, microservices. So overall, I think your bullet points are good. They just need a little bit of a tweak. The problem is, again, you were international searching for a job, and that's just going to wreck your ratio, right? Like, if you're an international and that you got a 1 to 50, you should feel proud. 1 to 50 is phenomenal for international. It's just, unfortunately, that you're going to have to try harder and apply to more jobs and get more rejections than if you were a natural citizen. I wish that wasn't the case, but that's going to be it. Especially because if they don't know what an OPT is and how a company doesn't really need to sponsor it. Again, it's been a bit since I did that, so do not trust my... talk to a lawyer, basically. Make sure to do that, but... Overall, I think this is a solid resume, and I don't really need to go past here. I found kind of most everything I wanted. I just want... Oh, here's the SQL. Yeah, so just SQL up here, fix that a little bit, fix the formatting, and I think you're going to stand a very, very, very good chance, even though the cards are stacked against you. But that is it for this resume, and that is it for this video. I will see you all in the next video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out, and I'm here to help y'all get jobs. And if you need it, just stop by my Twitch, link below, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PSD for about 3 hours, give or take, and I'll help y'all out. So, see you soon. Okay. Well, you know, a lot of the companies use collaboration as substitute for layoffs when there are record profits. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go against that fact. There's definitely that. I also think it's a lot of the things is a lot of them. So I don't know how to say this. I don't want to be an insulting or anything, but like, I think part of the reason for the RTO is that. I want to be clear. I think there's definitely some companies that wanted to lay people off and wanted to use it as an excuse. But I think there's also the case of there's probably a lot of those people that are very high-level managers, like very, very, very high level, that got to where they are by focusing entirely on work, and they don't have a ton of friends outside of work. So if they actually worked in a really good company, and they may not have a lot of people outside, and going to, you know, RTO is basically bringing back what they consider possibly their friends or family. So I think there's also that, and people don't really talk about that, because I feel like that's part of the issue as well. And I think it's important to maintain friendships outside because, you know, you're going to be at work for 40 hours a week, and it's okay to be friends with them, but you do need stuff outside of work because it's not healthy to be entirely consumed by it. But obviously there are companies using it as a layoff one, but I don't think it's only that. Because I have met people before who were very nice, and they may just not understand that others don't feel that way, you know? Because to be remote for them is essentially just, you know, going on a family Zoom call instead of meeting in person all the time. But I am still pro remote. I mean, I've worked remote for most of my career. So, most of my recruiting career, the only exception was my first recruiting job, and then that other recruiting contract job I got laid off, that I got fired from because of my dyslexia. That, had I known my dyslexia was causing that, I could have not had that happen. So, but I was not aware my dyslexia was causing that problem at the time. So. No, I forgot the DevOps engineer. Literally just... okay, hold on. Let me go back to it. Can I actually... It's like 20 darn ones. I forgot to copy paste it into the thing. Account executive. How far back am I needing to go? Software developer. Junior DevOps engineer. There it is. This is it. Okay. Control C and Control Z. You are phenomenal, and I love you so much. There we go. Now I saved it, so I won't have that happen again. Ugh. Alright, this person wrote their full info, so just give me a second. I have to make sure they're not doxxed. Because they don't do that. Okay. Yep. Wait, is this the same person? Huh. Is there anything different about this one? I don't think there is. Because this is the one I reviewed already, but I don't know if there's any difference between this and the last DevOps one. Like, legitimately, I don't think there's any difference. I just need to check real quick to see. CI pipelines, no. We have this, no. NF, no. Azure, no. Yeah, there's not really any difference between these. REST APIs, no. That's not what we're looking for as well. There's GitHub, Kafka. Yeah, I'm not seeing any difference between these. I'm not sure. They also said they're not worried about being doxxed. Element when Newsman executive order. Oh yeah. There was the executive order of Newsman. I agree with that. Companies, mayors are against RTO or for RTO because business sectors which give a lot of money do not do well with it. So. My question is, should I do this one again? Because I don't think there's anything that's different. I mean, they formatted it slightly better, but again, the issue isn't the formatting. I don't know. Sorry, y'all. I'm just trying to think if I should do this or not, because they're gonna see the... I feel like I should put it out. I just don't know if there's anything new to see with this one. but I guess maybe I'll catch something else. This is a resume review of a DevOps engineer. This is actually this person's second review. They sent in the other resume and this one, so they actually haven't had, I think it was like 2 days ago that their review would have been, but they haven't, they've changed it already. No, I'm gonna redo that. The show must go on, but not when I can do that. This is a resume review of a DevOps engineer. So this is actually a repeat review, which is fine. The only issue with this one is I reviewed both of theirs in the same stream because I'm getting through a backlog. So they haven't actually had time to implement the changes from the last video's DevOps engineer one, which again, I think was like last video or the video before that. So I there's not going to be a ton difference. Just to recap what it was, this should be italicized, which they did actually fix. That's good. Shouldn't be bolded though. This should be in bullet points, but non-formatting wise, the issue, and I can check to see if this is I don't really see a lot of these skills. So I saw Node in Python, which is fine. I saw Azure, which is great. But I don't see a lot of the other stuff. I see DevOps here, which also this should switch it to DevOps engineer / lead infrastructure, or DevOps / lead infrastructure engineer. But what I really want to know primarily here is a couple of these keywords. CL pipelines was in a lot of them. DevOps was in a lot of them, and I need DevOps here. I know that sounds weird, but I need it a lot here. Cloud we have cloud in spades. That's good. And do we have anything that shows multitasking or multiple projects? Not as much. Yeah, I just want to know how many projects you did and how you multitasked. And then you do have Python, which is good. And ideally, I'd like to see maybe Bash, Ruby, or PowerShell as well. I don't see any Jenkins. I don't know if there's GitLab. Let me look down below maybe. But realistically, they're probably not going to go this far down. Let's see. Yeah, honestly, you've also only been here for like less than a year. I think you could cut out some of these. And I think maybe I wasn't clear on this one, but all of these shouldn't be, there should be less space between these. This right here, which is the in between these, was the space that was missing, and you did fix that. So these shouldn't be as far apart. But I think you could realistically like cut and keep this at 4 bullet points so that you could go directly into this job, which has, I think, maybe more accurate. Yeah. So there's the CI/CD. There's the Git. This is actually solid. I really like it. Yeah, I'm missing the word DevOps. I know it's here. I just want it in here. But yeah, I honestly, I think the thing is you need to cut out some of the experience on your top one. So like maybe 4 bullet points on here so that they actually see this. And then again, you don't need a giant space between these. This was the only space that was needed, and you did that. So, and I know they haven't had time to redo it, so there's obviously some other stuff, but I think if you combine those, you're going to have a way better success chance. So, and this resume is slightly better than the other one, but weirdly enough, I think part of the issue is this is too long. The fact that this is too long, it takes away from the fact that you've done a lot of stuff here. So the CI/CD, the Git is good. The Azure was in both. Agile is fine. Kafka, maybe. But I still would like to see some infrastructure of code. So Terraform, CloudFormation, Ansible, Kubernetes, Jenkins, that kind of stuff, and more DevOps. But, you know, it's slightly better, I will say. But we need to make it way better because the market is still bad. So... and if y'all like these resume reviews, send your resume review. It is free. There's usually takes like a week and a half to get to it on Twitch, about 3 weeks to get to it on, put it up on YouTube. And like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out. And if you need more help, join my live stream. Now we're going to the next resume. That was 85-1. Getting through this backlog, y'all. There's only 52 resumes on the stack. So, just made this resume on 215 user template. You gave me a resume review on 217. Live stream share review. Keyword shoot for full stack entry level. Okay, so this is full stack. Okay. See, that's for next week. Let's see. I have that much. Where is Harry's resume? I just want to make sure I can get to it in time. Okay, yeah, I can get to his on the next stream for sure. Cool. All right, I think I am going to end it a little early. I got some more work to do. Now that I think I have access to that, I got to do it. And I'll be honest, my headache is still terrifyingly bad. But I will... Let me actually make sure I have enough videos, because I do need to keep a steady upload. So let me see if I can keep going, y'all. So we have 81. We have 82, 83, 84. So that's enough for tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Monday. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's enough. So let's raid another channel real quick. Always makes people feel better. And I'm going to go log into that website, do an unholy amount of paperwork. And I will see you all on Monday. And then again, starting next week, I will be streaming on Fridays. So it'll be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 a.m. To 11 a.m. PST. I think that's what I'm going to be doing. Sounds the solid way I'm going to be doing that. So let's go to... Who are we going to? Let's do fellow redhead. Let's do it. So, and let's start the raid. Let me also make sure I do this so I don't screw this up. Okay. And away we go. I will see you all next on Monday. So here we go.